twice she has been represented in the Best American Poetry. In the Best of 1999, Robert Bly chose her poem September Night. And in 2005, her poem On the Propagation of the Species was selected by Paul Muldoon. And I'm not sure what poem, which of those poems she will read tonight, and which other poem, but it is bound to be a great treat. So here she is.
So we're going to start with the most recent, which wasn't collected anywhere, but has just been accepted in the New Yorker. Now this I understand, and we're going to go deeper into what I don't understand, which I'm sure is more safer later. Let's start here. Gender bender. Gender bender. Evolution settles for a while on various stable balances. One is that some of the girls like cute boys and some like ugly, older men, and sometimes women. The difference between them is the ones who like older men were felt up by their fathers or uncles or older brothers. Or if he didn't touch you, still you lived in his cauldron of curses and urges, which could be just as worse. They grow already old, angry, and wise. They get rich, they get mean, they get theirs. The untouched, uncursed others are happy, never needing to do much, never do much more than good. They envy their mean, rich, talented, drunk sisters. Good girls drink milk and make milk and know they've missed out and know they're better off. They might dance and design but won't rip out lungs for a flag. Bad ones write books and slash red paint on canvas. They've raged to vent. They've fault lines and will rip off a toga off a Caesar and stab a goat for the ether. It's as simple as that. Either, deep in the dark of your history, someone showed you that you could be used as a cash machine, as a popcorn popper, as a rocket launch, as a coin slot, jackpot spunker, or they didn't, and you grew up unused and clueless. Either you got a clue and got spiked lunch, or you got zilch with no punch. And Purdue, it's not exactly anyone's fault. If it happened and you don't like older men, that's just because you like them so much you won't let yourself have one. If you did, everyone would see. Then they would know what happened a long time ago with you and with that original him whose eyes you've been avoiding for decades, gone forgotten. That's why you date men smaller than you, or not at all. Or maybe you've turned into a man. It isn't anyone's fault, it is just human, and it is what happens, or doesn't. That's that. Any questions? If you see a girl dressed to say, "No one tells me what to do," you know someone once told her what to do. Now this is from Best American Poetry 2005, and it's when I was thinking, should I actually bring another human life into this ridiculous, disgusting world? But then I did, and the minute I did, these people were so amusing, so up for the task, so much better than the people who raised me, these 10 people. It was a good idea. But this I wrote when I was wondering whether it was a good idea. This is called The Propagation of the Species. And it was from my book, Funny, where all the poems have an old joke in them. It is likely that someone will be standing there at the end of time looking up at the fireball or down at the organs of desire. It won't be us, but only because odds are odds, uncanny, cranky, spare. Thus, we may judge the world a safe enough place. There are the cares of the day, the age of probability having replaced historic ne'er-do-wells with numbers. As for us, we live in surprise. Why not share this mood and facial disposition with some scion of future generation? We spent our meditation time instead confessing. The exercise delivered unexpected fruit. Perhaps we've better quarry than the truth. The fruit of all of this is possession and release. Mangoes and bananas. Especially bananas. Try expressing to a friend when next you're feeling unglued or blue, say, I'm bananas. Explain to others that your lover, while very sweet and handsomely randy, is a mite bananas. Is bananas. With a meaningful look in your eye, gesture an unpeeling. It is your autobiography you are living. The actor eating scampi to my left says he is not yet off book, but will be. Folks, I am ever so slightly off book. Friends, I am bananas. We parse the problem, narrowing out the principal players, friends, family, prospects. I interview the possibility of a child, ask it questions, intone the world, interested? Then want to learn the word for widget? Want to read Beowulf? Want to get named? Shall we grin and bear it? I admit existence is where woeful was conjured. Nonetheless, to recommend it, there is Jello, average rainfall, the anchovy app at Luna's, the fact that in the middle, many change their minds on the whole shebang, get a good one off in both directions. But you and I are going to have to choose. It is our autobiography we are eating. You snooze, you lose. Still, in the midst of going too slowly, all hell has been known to break loose. A gang of snails attracts a tree sloth, steals her wallet. Down at the station, police chief questions, how'd they get you? Sloth says, I don't know, it all happens so fast. Ain't it the truth? All this wallowing in the details of engagement, and when the battle comes, it isn't quite expected. It's slower. Also over much too fast to make a fair assessment. Lounging in her tea tree, chewing leaves and dreaming she sees them. Tiny, slimy things with spiral shells and damp antennae that float like sea anemone above their wet tongue heads. She wonders softly, is this a moment for decision? Shall I bolt or battle? Or better yet, might this pass me by without regret? It took days for the battalion to cross the stretch of trunk and reach her, yet she was still mulling it over when she found herself succumbed. Years later, still on her way home from the station, she wondered what she had wanted with a wallet anyway. There is no way to parry ordinary disaster. There are no odds worth pairing. Animals, stars from early motion pictures eat bonbons and wear feathered mules in their trailers, the old age home, the zoo. What, on the other hand, will become of you and I? Side by side, the Studebakers inside us ride along the Côte de Rhône, our hair getting tangled in the violent wind of speed. And how do you propose we unknot all these tangles? Not, I trust, on the rocks below. Brave souls pick a hotel from the travel guide and go. What do fools do? Don't know. Probably the same, but badly. Bombardiers stay home. Bombardiers know too much of bombs to roam. Still, it is a question of the result of one's actions. Mendel was a monk watching pea pods, but had a wild effect on pillow talk in centuries to follow, mumblings of the pregnant engineer. What do you get from a threesome of a tiger, a scorpion, and a fly? Bumblebee. How do you get a zebra? Mix a horse and a tiger. How do you get a tiger? Mix a lion with that same zebra from before. Let us accept a rainy day in August as if it were a single, unlikely fabrication. As if these movies had never been on television before, as if we'd never heard of Mamie Eisenhower, as if her tiny bangs could still call us to smile. The recovering tree sloth hangs upside down, her three-toed feet hooked to the branch above her as she lollingly observes the traffic scene. Much, she muses, to which we cling, turns out to be, well, she's lost her train of thought, chewing a mild leaf and swinging gently with the breeze. Odds of the home front, odds of the sun, odds of the herringbone. Run, run, run. Okay, so then there's this one little poem called September, which was such an early poem, and it kept going on and on. People used it for lots of different things. September. Tonight there must be people who are getting what they want. I let my oars fall into the water. Good for them. Good for them getting what they want. The night is so still that I forget to breathe. The dark air is colder. Birds are leaving. Tonight there are people getting just what they need. The air is so still that it seems to stop my heart. I remember you in a black and white photograph, taken this time of some year. You were leaning against a half-shed tree, standing in the leaves the tree had lost. When I finally exhale, it takes forever to be over. Tonight there are people who are so happy that they have forgotten to worry about tomorrow. Somewhere, people have entirely forgotten about tomorrow. My hand trails in the water. I should not have dropped those oars. Such a soft wind.